Welcome to Enduro 360. I'm your host, Chili White. Today we're here to talk about 2012 Gas 300. So let's take a quick look at the bike. It's been a while coming, but we finally have it. Here she is. 2012 Gas EC300. Elsewhere in the world, this would be known as the EC300 Race. So let's take a look at what we got. I must say, this is one sexy looking motorcycle. It draws eyes just about anywhere it goes. Even people who don't know what it is want to know about it. Out back, we get started with, let's see, we got standard Excel wheels, black, Galfer braking rotors with Nissan components. These bikes come stock with the Metzler's 6-day Extreme tires on them. Actually, I like those tires pretty well. Also comes stock with the FMF-Q silencer, and that's mated to the Gas stainless steel exhaust. Pretty much everything about this bike is brand new this year. All new frame, chromoly, perimeter style. So it really kind of mimics much of what the Gas has always been, but this is definitely a much stronger, sturdier frame. One of the big things about it is the foot peg position has been significantly altered, so it's a little bit lower and further rearward compared to previous Gas. And what that does is it opens up this area for the shifter and brake pedal, so you're not getting your boots stuck in there quite as easy. Also new this year, actually we got lots of new things, completely new linkage arrangement. You see that little horseshoe setup right there, mated to our Olin shock. This comes stock with a 5.2 spring on it. The other new thing, brand new plastic subframe. All plastic component there. You can see where it mates to the frame right there. Pretty sleek looking. Things are the same. Well, the motor is fairly much the same. You should recognize that as being a Gas motor for quite a while. But along with the foot pegs, we get this new brake pedal arrangement. So now tucks in behind the frame, similar to a KTM, and love that. That is so much nicer than the old setup. The pedal tip is actually adjustable. You can move it forward, back. That's kind of cool. All new plastic. This is kind of an interesting plastic arrangement. It's sleek, it's two pieces. This piece is actually kind of blind bolted. These are blind bolted together here, and then they also have a little clip that holds the two pieces together right here. Then what they do is, Gas has always had kind of this rubber grommet arrangement in the top. Now they have it in the bottom also, so there's no bolt holding this baby together. Little bit of kind of a weak point on this bike. I can just see you getting this caught. I mean, you can see it took a fair bit of force for me to actually pull that apart, but once that's off, there's really nothing holding the radiators. You can see we've already thrown these bulletproof radiator braces on there, and I think that's probably going to be pretty mandatory for all of these bikes. But let's keep going. Marzocchi fork. Woohoo! This is the 48mm twin chamber, and it's kind of unique in that it's got this PFP valve adjustment. The cartridge construction is similar to a Showa with a small secondary spring. This adjuster right here is an external preload adjustment for that spring. It takes a 22mm wrench on there, and so the ticket is to go buy a cheapo and grind it down so it'll fit in there so you can do the adjustment. It's actually got quite a bit of tension on it. So it's not something you can just put a pair of pliers on easily and move around. Up front, again, we've got Galfer rotors with the Nissan components, kind of that KTM inspired fork guards there, although these are kind of cool because they actually snap apart, so you can take them on off the bike without having to pull the forks off. All new gas tank. They call this 10.5 liters, which is like 2.8 gallons. It's now a one-piece clear construction. Up top, we've got the Renthal twin wall bars. I mean, that is the heaviest duty macho big boy bar that you can buy. Comes stock with Pro Grip grips. New this year, the hydraulic clutch has changed from the old AJP unit now to a Magura unit. There we go. Actually, I really like this because it's such a nice lever. It's a folding breakaway kind of lever. It's got a really nice feel, good progressive action to it. Domino throttle, and of course our Nissan front brake there. Switches, we got headlight switch, kill switch, and then a la gas, we've got our little mapping switch tucked right in there on the radiator hose. Remember, cloudy is rich or milder, and sunny is leaner or more aggressive. Elsewhere over here, of course, we've got our key and 38mm carb. You can see there the new foot peg position in relation to the shift lever. Nice aluminum side stand, but it's got that European self-retracting thing. So if you're new to a gas, that one definitely takes a little getting used to. But I guess I'm okay with it. And that's it. We got Talon sprockets front and rear. In the back, we got a nice little LED tail light. But even more important, it actually now incorporates a complete, kind of plastic under brace, so that fender is really nice and sturdy out there. Seat, man, this is one narrow, firm seat. Underneath, now the way this bike comes stock is it actually has a little battery box mounted right here, but our bike, being a US model, doesn't actually use a battery, so I just took that out because it's kind of difficult to access the air filter with it in there. Same air filter that gas has always used, which is just that old CR, KX, KTM, most common air filter in the world. But they have changed it slightly this year, and it now uses a 3-pin cage, so it's a little more secure. One of the coolest components I found on the new gas is this plastic skid plate. This is really the neatest thing. I love plastic skid plates, but they can be troublesome, and like the KTM ones, I've been through a couple of those this year. This is a heavy-duty big unit, and it's constructed just like an aluminum skid plate. It's basically one piece that's then cut and formed. And then what you can see, the cut goes right here, and then it's plastic welded together. Here on the backside, you can see the plastic weld. It has a permanent hook just to clamp on to the underside of the frame there. 2 bolts through the front, and so it goes on and off really easy. It's got really good side coverage. Get out of the sun there. And man, I love this thing. Somebody needs to find these. Made by AXP. I'll have to look that up. So that's the stock skid plate on the gas. This bike is an all-new frame and chassis, and so we had a couple of fitment issues. One here on our exhaust, it's rubbing just a little bit. You can see it actually uses a couple of spacers in there for mounting. Looks like the key would be to put one more in. You may have also noticed that we've got a Recluse clutch cover on here. The stock unit's a plastic unit, and we were having just a little bit of an oil leak, just a weep right out of the bottom. I think that the gasket probably doesn't have enough give in it to accommodate a plastic piece. So I had this already sitting on the shelf, so I just threw that on there real quick. Got about 5 hours of ride time on the 300 here, and wow, this thing is just a lot of fun. It's so cool to get back and spend some time riding 2-stroke, especially when we get out and really do some good single track trails. This bike is very, very purposeful feeling. It's very race feeling. The faster you go, the better it works. The suspension is pretty nice. The Olin shock, that thing is just working really good. The spring's a little too light for me, but I've just got some extra preload on there, and it's doing well. The fork is pretty good. It's got a couple of issues. I need to just kind of play around with the clickers a little bit more in that PFP adjustment. I suspect it may be just a little bit low on oil level, but overall, pretty happy with it. Actually, it works really good when you want to ride aggressively. It's just a little bit stiff or harsh in tighter, more technical conditions. But so far so good. I'm really stoked about riding this thing. And next weekend we actually have a 2-day race coming up, so I'll be riding this up here, and we'll see how it goes. I expect it's going to be really good. Okay, that's a quick look at our 2012 Gas 300. Tune in to Enduro360.com for the full story, all the pictures, and all the latest scoop.